Folks, for the longest time, the media were telling us that there is no way that Donald Trump didn't know about the meeting that Donald Trump Jr. had at Trump Tower. It was a nothing meeting. Nothing came of the meeting. The whole idea that it was a critical linchpin in this investigation is so ridiculous and so preposterous. And so they just kept hammering this. And Adam Schiff was one of the main propagandists pushing this idea that there's no way that Donald Trump didn't know about Donald Trump Jr.'s meetings. And in fact, there were certain calls that Donald Trump Jr. had made, mysterious phone calls ahead of the 2016 Trump Tower meeting. And Adam Schiff accused the Republicans of purposely covering it up. Now, I want to report something to you from CNN. And CNN has been one of the worst perpetrators of lies involving this administration that there can possibly be. And yet, it has received leaks from the Senate Intelligence Committee. Leaks that are very relevant. Senate investigators have obtained new information showing Donald Trump Jr.'s mysterious phone calls ahead of the 2016 Trump Tower meeting were not with his father. 3 sources with knowledge of the matter told CNN. Donald Trump, our president, has been telling the truth from the beginning. He said he didn't know about the meeting. He said he didn't discuss it with his son before the meeting. Records provided to the Senate Intelligence Committee show the calls were between Trump Jr. and 2 of his business associates, the sources said, and appear to contradict Democrats' long-held suspicions that the block number was from then-candidate Donald Trump. It's not just Democrats' long-held suspicions. This propaganda was pushed by CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, their analysts, their experts, their lawyers. It was endless. The president said, look, those calls, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, right. He had to. He's a cover-up. He's a liar. The information came to light recently and can answer one of the key questions over the meeting Trump's eldest son set up to get Russia dirt on the Clinton campaign. First of all, Trump's son didn't set up the meeting. He was lured into the meeting. And they didn't get dirt on the Clinton campaign. The Clinton campaign contrived dirt using Russians, among others, and a foreign ex-British spy, among others. And you know the story. To get a warrant. Trump Jr.'s phone calls involving blocked numbers, meaning the numbers are private and do not appear in the phone records, have been a lingering issue as investigators have probed the meeting and whether Trump himself had advanced knowledge through any means that his son-in-law Jared Kushner, and then campaign chair Paul Manafort met with a Russian lawyer promising dirt on Hillary Clinton. Now, let's just stop there. Let's say all that did happen. Who cares? Who cares? But it didn't happen. And they were trying to take down this president in 1,000 different ways, and this is one of the ways. This is one of the key ways. He lied, you see. He lied. And we need to get him under oath. We need to get his testimony. He didn't lie, the president. He told the absolute truth. This is why this will not lead in any broadcast in America. It will not be the front page headline across the top on any major newspaper in America. Day after day, week after week, month after month, the suspicion was planted with the American people, and this is how it works. The truth, the facts never catch up. Trump Jr.'s phone records included calls with 2 blocked phone numbers the same day he exchanged calls with Russian pop star Iman Agalarov, the son of a Russian oligarch who spearheaded the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting with Russian lawyer Natalia, whose name I could never pronounce. The calls came 3 days before the Trump Tower meeting, and an additional call with a private number occurred several hours after the meeting. CNN has not confirmed the identity of the business associates who spoke with Trump Jr., nor what they discussed on the calls. Well, how would they know what was discussed on the calls? And why does that matter? The purpose of the calls and the relevance to the Trump Tower meeting and the Russia investigation is still unclear. Of course it's unclear. It's not relevant to anything. The Senate Intelligence Committee's 2-year investigation into 2016 Russian election interference is still ongoing. It's unknown whether the committee is still investigating the Trump Tower matter. Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Richard Burr, a North Carolina Republican, and Virginia Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the panel, both declined to comment. It's not evident whether Special Counsel Robert Mueller has also obtained the phone records disclosing the identity of the private numbers, but the Trump Organization has provided both Mueller and Congress with a range of Russia-related documents. The documents show the calls were not with then-candidate Trump, that Trump could resolve a key line of inquiry that House Democrats have said they want to get to the bottom of this year, now that they are the majority party and have control of investigations. And so it is, ladies and gentlemen, another lie by the media. Will the media correct across the board what the media have been propagandizing about since knowledge of this meeting at Trump Tower, this nothing burger meeting? No, they won't. Even here, when CNN reports this, it doesn't correct the fact that endless numbers of their guests, experts, and even anchors were speculating on and on and on because they hate Trump and they wanted to get Trump. This is under the radar. This came out about 45 minutes ago. I'm the cleanup hitter. I'm here to catch this stuff, and I will catch it. And I wanted to alert you to it. So the headline story is, the President of the United States did not have foreknowledge of the Trump Tower meeting. These calls were not to or from the President of the United States, then candidate Donald Trump. That he was telling the truth from day one, and the media were lying, and their mouthpieces were lying, and they will never be held to account. I don't mean held to account by the government. I mean by their own profession. They will never be held to account. You have to look on these reports with extreme skepticism and even cynicism when you understand what's taking place here. They can make these allegations. This is what the president means by the fake media. It's worse than the fake media. It's worse than a fake media. This media is destroying our country. It's dividing our country. It's undermining our country. We're the ones who believe in freedom of speech and freedom of the press. They are using the press to destroy the press. They're a disgrace. It's like now this guy, Chris Christie, the Atlantic City Orca. The Atlantic City Orca is all over the place, trashing the president, which is why he's hawking his book. He can get on these liberal shows. Unless he trashes the president, he won't get on these shows. He went on Stephen Colbert, a.k.a. Colbert's show, and he's asked, would you be a better president than Trump? He says, yes. This fat slob was a lousy governor. Drove up taxes in his state. A lousy governor. New Jersey didn't move from 49th or 50th in every category except the good ones. He was a big mouth. Then he says the president didn't know. I told the president, remember? I told the president, don't shut down the government unless you have an exit strategy. There's no exit strategy, dummy. You use it as leverage to try and negotiate. And he's not done yet. We'll see what happens. Good, bad, or indifferent. But I do remember, don't you, Mr. Producer, not long after the hurricane, there was some beached whale in a state park on the beach. Remember that? Turned out to be the governor. He was there. His family was there. Having a hell of a time. This guy couldn't get elected governor again in the state of New Jersey. Anyway, this is the big news. Senate investigators told Trump Jr.'s mysterious calls weren't with his father. Look how we have to disprove the allegations that are based on nothing but speculation. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.